Once we've adopted these standards of behavior and conduct, we're committed to honor them. And if we don't, then there can be no disciplined activity.
If you're not hungry, if you're not willing, if you don't have the grit, if you don't have the tenacity, then you're not going to get what you're looking for.
I have to be truthful to myself. You have to be truthful to yourself. You have to stop rationalizing, stop making excuses, stop telling yourself little watered down assessments of where you're really at. Tell yourself the truth.
If you live very long at all of your youthful idealism gives way to the harsh realities of life itself. When you were a teenager, you thought you knew everything music, but when you got to put everything in practice, you found out it wasn't as easy as you thought it was. Life has a way of making you close your mouth. Life will mute you, shut you down. Because all of us, if you live long enough, will go through a period of feeling so overwhelmed that you think of one more thing if the phone rings, one more time if I get another text, if I get another email. Sometimes I question technology. I appreciate all the advances, but I don't need another way for anybody to be able to access me.
We find ourselves announcing our standards to our relatives, our friends, our associates. We shout our beliefs and condemn those who believe any differently, but then we don't walk the talk. We end up acting in a way far different from the beliefs we've shouted. We tell our kids that the TV is rotting their minds, yet we spend our evenings in front of it. We tell our employees that they must take advantage of every minute of the working day, yet we spend 3 hours at lunch. Do as I say, not as I do. This is inconsistent. This leads to a loss of credibility among those who watch us. And more importantly, this leads to a loss of credibility within ourselves.
I want you to recognize that it takes work. It takes sacrifice. It takes understanding. It takes will. It takes determination. This is that time right now to get it. Push that last rep. Push with everything you got. Tell excuses to step aside. Let weakness know that it is not welcome in your house. And go after what it is that you are seeking. Because the opportunities are yours. Go get it. Go get it now. And give it everything you got. Be productive. Be powerful. And from the bottom of my heart, conduct your business.
The only thing worse than one who is inconsistent in applying their self-imposed disciplines is one who has never considered the need or the value of discipline at all. These people seem to wander aimlessly, changing procedures, changing standards, changing loyalties, and shifting frequently from one commitment to another, leaving behind a trail of broken friendships, unfinished projects, and unfulfilled promises, all because of a discipline that was either non-existent or imposed so infrequently that it was ineffective. Here's the third step to becoming consistently self-disciplined. Number one is realizing that discipline isn't the easiest option. Number two, discipline is a full-time activity, day by day, every day. And the third step to becoming self-disciplined is really a philosophy that holds one of life's unique promises.
You want a shortcut. You want to go the easy route. That's what you're looking for, right? That's what you're thriving for, right? It's not how it works in the real world. There are no easy days. Why would you want easy? Why do you want to just take the short route? How many times have you parked your car at your local grocery store and you wanted to get closer to the door instead of parking far away from the door? That is an opportunity right there to test yourself and say, why not walk a little bit further? You're probably thinking, why should I? Because it's convenient for me to be closer to the door. Convenience is not always the best policy. It's not the best way to go about things in your life. Everything should not be given to you. Instead, you should earn it.
You've lost again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until. If you want to make your dream become reality, the people that are running at their dreams know that it's possible. That you can live your dream, that it's necessary, that you're relentless, that you have a plan of action, that you are creative. The people that are living their dream of finding winners to attach themselves to the people that are living their dreams of a people that know that it's going to happen, it's up to them, and they're resolving within themselves, it's not over until I win. Listen to me very closely. Winners win and losers lose, and there are those of you out there, you lose it and you don't. deserve to lose. You put in the work, you worked hard, and you blooms.
So that you can get where you want to go. You can be who you want to be. You can be who you should be. Who you should be when you do what you know you should do. When you pay attention to the little things. When you implement discipline. True and unflinching and unmitigated discipline in your life. When you stop trying to find a sweatless solution. When you look for weaknesses to work on, when you allow no easy excuses. And all that starts when you stop lying to yourself.
Given equally to every human being, time is therefore the only commodity every human possesses. We don't possess the same amount of money. We possess the same amount of time. So the key to life is what you become in life is determined by how you use the time you have. And that's why we use terms like spending time. Time is a currency. Every human has the same amount every day. And time, like currency, must be spent. And here's the problem. Time is used to buy life. So whatever you are, you spend your time buying it. Time is so powerful that whatever you invest your time in, you become. Write this down. Time can be what? Abused. Time can also be lost. You can lose it, just like money. Time can be squandered, just like money. You could spend an entire day. Have you ever said this? I don't know where the day gone.
I mean, you do me a favor. This is me here to turn that around. The people that are running after that dream know they're going to have hard times. They keep on running because they're saying within themselves, I'm the one, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. The people that are running after their dreams are the people that are hungry. Listen to me very closely. Somewhere you are broke, listen to me, you flat out broke, right? You ain't got gas money. And we're not just talking about money, you've broken your relationships. You've broken your health and you not work because you have to be right. And I'm telling you, your whole life is going to change.
When you stop lying to yourself, that's when you can become who you know you should be. When you tell yourself the truth about where you are so you can make sure you are in the right place. And if you're not in the right place, that you can get yourself on the path to get there. Path of discipline, the path of hard work, and the path of truth.
Most people, their associations are to avoid anything that's uncomfortable. But it's so illogical because when you look at comfort, a lot of those are connected to discomfort. Like discomfort is your friend. It really is. Like discomfort, not being happy and content with certain situations in life, certain feelings in life. They're massive motivators and they're amazing at facilitating change. Well, when I was 21 and I was first starting to do comedy, that's when I was really devouring as much of it as possible because I was trying to figure out like how to not be so lazy.
Yeah, I know, that's right. Why? You squandered it. It didn't take you closer to your goals, didn't take you closer to your vision, didn't accomplish the things you wanted, and you spent it and squandered it on stuff that didn't count. Time is more important than money. That's why the businessman say time is. Can I put it another way? Write this down. Time can be depreciated just like money. Time can also be devalued. Every hour is important. My question is, what are you spending it on? You can reduce the value of your life by the things you spend your time with, who you spend your time with, where you spend your time all day. You can devalue your time. I'm a victim of time. Write this down, please. You can never stop time. You can also never control it. You can't resist it. You can't never compromise with time.
If you would get off the couch, stop playing video game, having a good time, you've got to have the strength of character to concentrate to read the guide. Just information, you've got to learn how to become resourceful, you've got to learn how to become creative like thrill, you broke at you. Will you grow by complaining, I'm going to a job you don't like, you are broke? This is them, you go on to a job you'll like, you've been there 15, 20 years and put on the job. I'm not even saying you should quit your job, but I'm saying that after you get off work just like you, invested ever you need to invest in yourself. And the problem is simple, you're not investing in your idea, that you're always looking for a way to get over.
You can't do great work, massive promised land work with a petty attitude. You have to have thick skin. You have to be strong. You have to have some things in place that protect you, because if you're not careful, the offense will become a distraction and you'll put all your energy into settling the offense rather than focusing on the mission, and you'll give up on your calling and come down off your wall to have an argument with how you feel, and you think you got the victory but you lost it because the disruption was a distraction from the purpose of your life. So you be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord.
Albert Einstein said once, he said, imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. Imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. Everything you have, somebody imagined it. Somebody was sitting on the phone one day talking with a cord to the wall and said, man, I wish I could just go outside with this phone. Everybody in here got a cell phone. Somebody got tired of riding in a wagon cross country. I wish we had something that made these wheels move by themselves. We drive cars. Somebody said, I wish we could fly. We got airplanes. Imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions.
I expect to reach my goal. Yes, you want to operate with a spirit of expectation. I expect to reach my goal. Never forget one quote that I heard. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. If you expect to reach your goal, prepare yourself now. The guys at the station, they begin to take a liking to me. Build relationships. As you're aware, people deal with people that they know, like, and trust. Come here, yes. Come outside. Who did this? Who cleaned my car? How much do you charge? Oh, nothing, sir. I just wanted to help out. I was providing more service than I got paid for. I was building relationships.
The crows are going to crow, make a lot of noise. The chickens are going to peck. There's going to be gossip, jealousy, criticism. People will have plenty of opinions about how you are to run your life, what you should wear, what you spend your money on, how you should raise your children. Successful people are so focused on their goals, their dreams, they don't pay attention to the crows. Quit letting that poison get in your spirit. You have a destiny to fulfill. God has given you the gift of life. He could have chosen anyone to be here at this time, but He chose you and me. Let's make the most of this day. How much time are you wasting offended, upset, letting difficult people steal your joy? It's time to get focused. Tune out all the negative and run your race with purpose. 2 Kings chapter 2, Elisha was traveling from Jericho to Bethel. As he was walking down the road, these young men came out and started making fun of him because he was bald. They said in verse 23, "Get out of here, you bald head," mocking him again and again. It's in the scripture, "Go away, baldy." Elisha could have been upset, offended. He and his men were bigger, stronger. He could have gone over there and straightened them out, but he didn't take the bait. He said, in effect, "I'm going to stay in peace and let God fight my battles." He understood they were just a bunch of crows, making a lot of noise, trying to get him distracted, engaged in battles that didn't matter. He kept on going. As he walked on, 2 bears suddenly came out of the woods and mauled all 42 boys that were making fun of him. When you let God be your vindicator, He'll take care of who's trying to stop you. He'll deal with the disrespect, the jealousy, people that are doing you wrong. You're an eagle. Don't come down and fight battles that don't matter. You keep soaring. Keep doing the right thing, and God will deal with the crows, the chickens, the turkeys. All that negative chatter is just noise. It cannot stop your destiny. Psalm 45 says, God has anointed us with the oil of joy. When you walk in your anointing, there's an oil on you to where nothing can stick. You're like a Teflon pan. Disrespect will come. People will say hurtful things. The good news is you have a no-stick anointing. You can let that go and it'll slide right off of you, not have any effect. That coworker leaves you out, plays politics. You could be offended, upset, but you have the oil of joy. You just let it go. Someone's rude to you, jumps down your throat. You could be rude back to them, give them a piece of your mind, but like that Teflon pan, it slides right on. You go on and enjoy the day. You weren't created to hold on to things. Offense, disrespect, hurtful words. Next time something happens that could upset you, instead of responding the same way, try a different approach. Father, thank you that I've been anointed with the oil of joy. I'm going to stay in peace. I'm going to focus on my goals, knowing that you are fighting my battles. You can't get rid of the difficult people, but if you'll respond the right way, they won't keep you from having a blessed, productive, favor-filled day. Are you letting things upset you that don't have to upset you? Are you giving away your power, letting what people do determine whether or not you're going to be happy? You need to take control back of your happiness. Quit putting it in someone else's hands. If you're counting on everyone to treat you nice, be kind, say good things, then you're going to be happy, you're giving them your power. You control your happiness. You have to make up your mind, no matter what people do, no matter what they say, how they treat you, they're not going to steal your joy. They may not want to be happy, but they shouldn't keep you from being happy. They may be rude, angry, disrespectful, but you can't let their issues sour your day. Be like that Teflon pan. Let it bounce off of you and enjoy your day despite what they do. I was at an electronics store to buy some parts for our television equipment. This was back when I worked behind the scenes in production here at Lakewood. The parts were in the back. The staff had to get them for you. I had done this many times before. The man at the counter was on the phone. He wasn't in any hurry to get off. He could see me standing there, but he talked about 15 minutes. I waited patiently. Eventually, he hung up. I thought he would acknowledge me and see what I needed, but he never looked up. Finally, I asked if he could help me. You would have thought I had just insulted him. He said so gruffly, very aggravated, "What do you need?" I asked him for this certain part. He looked at it and said, "We don't carry that. We never have." I told him how I'd purchased it there many times before. His face got real red. Smoke started coming out of his ears. He looked like he's about to explode. He used several curse words and said, "I told you I don't have it. Now don't ask me for it again." I wanted to say, "I'll ask you as many times as I feel like asking. I'll call you in the middle of the night if I want to." But I noticed he was bigger than me, so I just smiled, said, "No problem, just have a nice day." Didn't mean it, but at least I said it. I had to make this choice. Was I going to let his poison get in me, pollute my day, sour my attitude, spend my emotional energy upset, aggravated? Or was I going to be a Teflon pan, have that no-stick anointing, let all that disrespect, the anger, the poison slide right off of me? I decided to let it go. You can't stop people from dumping their garbage, but you can keep your lid on. You don't have to let all their trash get in you. Sometimes we have unrealistic expectations. We think we'll have a good day as long as we don't encounter any rude people, as long as our family says nice things, as long as our coworkers perform perfectly, then we'll stay in peace. That's not reality. Difficult people are all around. There will be someone that can steal your joy, get you offended, leave you out, say something that's not true. The key is not trying to avoid it, it's to handle it the right way. Don't take the bait. Don't let the offense stay. Don't dwell on the negative comments. Keep yourself oiled up to where you don't let anything stick. This is how you live happy, not by avoiding difficult people, but by not taking their garbage, by not responding to them the way they treated you. It's by being an eagle, by rising higher than the offense, the hurt, the jealousy. When God can trust you to do the right thing when it's hard, there's no limit to how high He will take you. There was a man walking down the street with his friend to get a newspaper. When they arrived at the corner store, the clerk in the small newsstand was very cold, inconsiderate, not friendly at all. The man bought the paper and said politely, "I hope you have a great day." As they walked away, his friend said, "Is that clerk always that rude?" The man said, "Yes, every morning." He said, "Well, are you always that nice to him?" The man said, "Yes, every morning." The friend looked puzzled and said, "Why?" The man said, "I've made up my mind. I'm not going to let one person ruin my day." Like him, you have to have a made-up mind. You're not going to let one negative comment ruin your day. You're not going to let a disrespectful coworker, a classmate that's making fun of you, a driver that cuts you off in traffic to sour your day. Decide ahead of time, I'm putting on the oil of joy. Whatever comes my way, negative comments, disrespect, rude people, that's going to slide right off of me. How much more will you enjoy your life if you'll have this no-stick anointing?
Some people are not willing enough to believe in themselves. But what are you gonna do? How will you make a difference? How will you stand?
There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now with changing your life. We're all being tested in life.
You were born to do something great with your life. You're supposed to do something special, and you're gonna. I can promise you that you have all the potential in the world within you.
Strength, leadership, power, authority, guidance, patience are God's gift to us. As men, hundreds of people give up on their goals on a daily basis, and it's usually because they realized quickly after starting their journeys that they're alone. Nobody's waking them up in the morning. Nobody's pushing them when they start to make excuses. And nobody's patting them on the back when they hit a milestone. Stop relying on outside sources of inspiration, motivation.
And how would you fight these battles that we face each and every day of our lives? They will continue to come, and you will not win every battle. And the battles that you face will help you to get stronger. Because even if you lose a battle and you're still breathing and you're still walking and you're still able to make moves, then you still have enough fight left to carry on. And on this journey,
And guess what? This is one test you can't cheat on. We all have our own test. Some of us are obese. Some of us are depressed. Some of us are insecure. In the military, we have a big old rucksack on the back. Got batteries, water, extra gear. Your extra gear is the shit you're dealing with in life. And the only way to overcome it is for you and you alone to face it. You have to do your best work when you're least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, guess what you gotta do? Stay hard.
What would you tell your 20-year-old self? In other words, if you could go back in time and you could talk to your 20-year-old self, what advice would you give to that 20-year-old Jocko?
while you are carrying on all of the things, remember the circumstances that you had to face. Remember the losses. Remember the victories. And understand that everything that you went through in your life, it had to be. It had to be this way. You may question it, but it had to be this way. You may not even understand it, but it had to be this way. Even with the mistakes that you've made in your life, yet it had to be this way. But the mistakes that you have made, you've learned, you've grown.
And honestly, I think to myself, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can't go back in time. I can't change what I did when I was 20 years old. What I'm actually thinking to myself is, what do you tell yourself today to get you on the path?
Someone asked me one time, what's your biggest fear? My biggest fear is that 300-pound man, never knowing I can be who I am today. A lot of us are wasteful, but we're wasteful of who we are in life. And get all you can out of yourself. Stay hard.
It's too hard. Life isn't fair.
Support can get you there. Put your goddamn head down and take charge here in life. True desire in the heart that it's that you have whatever it is you want to do, the thing that you want to do to help others and to grow and to make money, the desire that it's that's God's proof to you, set before and already to vindicate that. It's yours. You can't get it because you want it. If you put in the work, they can't deny you. If you put in the work, they can't stop. Be great, pursue your own version of happiness, life.
And I know the rest of the world is probably telling you constantly to be average, to be ordinary. There's different haters you have in your life. There's people who put you in your box. There's people who overlook you, that make you feel invisible. And it's important that you hear from me that that's not who you are. And by the way, you're not even who you've already been in your life. Your past does not equal your future. Your present does not equal your future. And I just want to remind you officially that you can do something great with your life, and that you're destined to do something great with your life, and that you were born for a reason. So important that you know that you hear that from me today, and that you begin to believe it about yourself. Because if you don't believe that about yourself, there's no chance it's going to happen. You can't achieve something in your life that you don't believe strongly, certainly, that you can achieve. And I know that I find many of you today, some of you are listening to this today, you've got momentum in your life and things are going well and you're looking for a key, or you want to hear about a mistake you might make that you can miss because I warned you about it. And I'm going to give you all those things, you know that on every program. But I know there's many of you that arrive here today, you're just not in the groove.
Well, I think the one thing that discipline definitely does help you with is it helps you get things done. And when you get things done, when you actually do things, you have more success. If you have more success, and sometimes a big part of success is just doing it. Yeah. That's like 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not going to feel perfect every day. If I only worked out when I felt good, because there's a lot of days I don't want to do it. It's pretty much the same with everybody that actually gets good at something. There's got to be those days you push through, and they're probably going to be more numerous than the days you don't. And so the benefit of discipline in my eyes has always been that through discipline, I get things done.
Always offers you a second chance. You know what it's called tomorrow for far too long. You've been holding yourself back. This is time for you. To walk with purpose, it's time for you. To walk into your gift. It's time for you to live your best life. It's wrapped in your capacity, your ability to believe in a dream, even if nobody believes in you.
Things aren't going great. Maybe you're in a down cycle in your life. Maybe there's some letdowns and some hurts that are happening right now. And maybe a little bit of, a little melancholy, little anxiety, little fear, maybe all the way to some depression. And I just want to be that person who reminds you that you can do something special and that you're going to, and that you have everything you need within you right now to make your life great, and you can turn it around at any time you decide to. You know, what you allow is what's going to continue in your life. I put out a post about this several weeks ago. It's hard to accept this, but what's happening in our lives, we're allowing it to happen. And to some extent, we almost believe we deserve it because we produce in our life what we really believe we're worth, what we really believe we deserve. And it's hard to accept that because it seems coincidental, that the wrong person entered our life, or there was a business setback, or our car broke down, or, our company went out of business, or whatever it might be. One of your clients just quit and changed their mind. And it seems coincidental, but you really truly are getting out of your life what you believe you're worth.
To get something you never had, you'd have to do something you never did. If every time you go to better yourself, somebody hits you with a line like, why? If you want to do that, you need to find another social circle. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. We did not come this far to just break down and lose now.
I always say that I'm like the most lazy, disciplined person I know because I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But I always do. One of the big problems is sitting down and doing the work. Mm-hmm. And you got to, and Pressfield talks about that in the most concise and beautiful way. And he labels it like an enemy. He calls it resistance. Mm-hmm. And that you have to sit down, you have to overcome resistance, and that the pro goes to work. And it doesn't matter if you're sick, it doesn't matter if you have kids, it doesn't matter what, you're a pro and you go to work. And that just, it puts it in your head that this is what I do. This is what, and you have pride in that. And then when you are in front of that keyboard and you look down at the count, I put 1,000 words in, you're doing the work. Yeah. And out of that work, gems blossom. Yeah. Little things, but you might have a day where you just write nothing but dog shit.
If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So if you're in a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change some things. But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change. And it's not dependent on anybody else.
How bad do you want it? How hungry are you? I see life waltzing with me. Saying, you want a tango? Come on. You want this? You willing to run over here? Come on. Are you willing to climb this mountain here? Come on. Are you willing to hold your breath and try and swim down to this level? Come on. I see it as a challenge. That introduces me to myself. And so we all have to look at life like that. It's a little game, I think. Yes, I'm saying they can give you the word. Now, you got a choice to accept the word or reject the word. See, there are diseases that people say are incurable, and they say they're incurable because records show or statistics indicate there's only 95%, there is a 95% of the people that get this disease die. And I say that if 5% live, then the disease is not incurable. 5 people walked away. Now we need to look at those 5 and find out what was going on there. What happened? And I think that those 5 said, hey, I'm not ready to go. I've got some more living to do. I've got something else to do. And that they harness their feelings, they harness that healing energy that is within themselves, knowingly or unknowingly, that cause them to extend their lives. So what we've got to begin to do is only embrace those things that's for our highest good. That no one has the right to determine or has the knowledge to say how long we're going to be here. And that we can choose to surrender or we can choose to take a stand and fight. And there are a lot of people who fight who are still here. There are people who fight and who go. But at least they go out fighting. They didn't just surrender. They didn't just throw in the towel on themselves. And I'm saying that there is something in us. There's a power and an energy that's in us that we owe it to ourselves to take on anything. Dis-ease in the body, poverty, opposition, whatever is between that and which we desire, and we feel that will give us a full and rich life, we should fight for it. And you just got to decide that my life is worth this kind of effort. And fight with everything in you, night and day, with every breath that you have. Most people don't have that kind of fighting spirit. Most people expend more energy watching a football game or a basketball game or some type of sporting event that they will give to their dream. They'll spend more time talking about what happened on television in some soap opera or some spectacular entertainment event, stress-relieving activity, than focusing on the possibilities for their own lives. They don't get that excited about themselves and their own potential for greatness. And I'm saying that we need to begin to start focusing in on ourselves and using our energies to move us from where we are in the direction of where we want to go. Overcoming the automatic mind that our experiences, our past results have told us, our current reality. Beginning to know that this is not it. That we are always involved in either creating reality or buying into the reality that we see. So we begin to learn how not to judge according to appearances. As we begin to, with everything in us, tenaciously to pull down the strongholds on our minds and do maintenance work to make sure that those negative thoughts and that automatic mind doesn't creep in on us again. So we're worrying about or beginning to only focus on and see the obstacles and the limitations as opposed to the solutions of the possibilities. As we work on ourselves constantly, what we will find is that we become at one or in alignment with the universe, and we are able to produce what appear to be miracles to most people, but it's only a perfect outworking of the law when we are working in harmony with the universe. And so the key to it is beginning to continue to have a whole vision of what you want to create, of constantly working with your feelings and your energy, keeping it positive, and engaging in actions and having things where the pictures, scriptures, music, friends, relationships, goals that challenge you and feed into you and create this new reality for yourself. Because as you continue to hold that in focus, as you continue to charge that with words and sell yourself on your having it, acting as if it already is, when you finally get that feeling, hit that level of consciousness, it will manifest. People come out of nowhere and support you. You get unexpected money that you had no idea that was going to come your way. Help and assistance from strangers comes to you, and you say, whoa. You begin to discover things showing up that you need, that you didn't even know you needed them. And here they are, right here at your disposal when you get to that new level of consciousness.
How bad do you want it? The dreams God has placed in your heart, the promises He's spoken to you, are not going to come to pass without opposition, without delays, without people trying to talk you out of it. There will be plenty of opportunities to get discouraged, to lose your passion and think that it's not meant to be. But if you're going to reach your destiny, you have to have a made-up mind. If you give up after the first time, or the 5th time, or the 30th time, what that really means is you didn't want it bad enough. There should be something you're believing for that you are relentless. You are not moved by how impossible it looks. You're not discouraged by how long it's taking. You don't give up because people told you no. Your attitude is, if I have to believe my whole life, I am not going to stop believing. I am not going to take no for an answer. I'm not going to settle for mediocrity. I'm going to keep pursuing what God put in my heart. You can't be passive and indifferent. You have to have a holy determination. It's more than just your will. It's a fire on the inside, a knowing that it's supposed to be yours. When everything says it's not going to happen, instead of getting discouraged, you kick in to a new gear. Normal people would give up. Normal people would settle, but you're not normal. You want it on another level. How bad do you want what God has put in your heart? Bad enough to outlast the opposition? Bad enough to overlook some insults? Bad enough to do the right thing when the wrong thing is happening? Do you want it bad enough to keep pursuing even when circumstances say it's not going to happen? Many of the difficulties we face, the delays, the times it's not fair, that's simply a test. God is seeing how bad do you want it. This is what weeds people out. If you're overcome by problems, you let circumstances push you down, people talk you out of it, you're not going to have the strength or the courage to sustain where God is taking you. Don't have a weak mentality, have a warrior mentality. You have to be more determined than the opposition. If you give up every time things don't go your way, you didn't want it bad enough. You have to dig your heels in and say, I am in this for the long haul. I know what God has spoken to me. I will get well. I will accomplish my dream. I will meet the right person. You're not moved by what's not working out, by how long it's taking, or by who's not for you. You know who is for you, the Most High God.